Lee turns from hurricane to tropical storm to nor'easter, walloping parts of Maine with strong winds and rain. Good evening, everyone. I'm Sam Rogers.
And I'm Amanda Hill. Welcome to this Storm Center edition of News Center Maine at 6. We have team coverage tonight to bring you the latest on Lee's impact in Maine. Our crews are out across the state tracking storm conditions, damage, and power outages. Right now, let's head to meteorologist Jason Nappy, though, first for a look at what we can expect tonight. Jason.
Yeah, a lot still going on. Here's a picture of the southern coast, best I could do on the southern coast, of some obvious splashover happening from the storm, I'll call it Storm Lee. There's so many names to this storm, but yeah, big time splashover. There's some inundation, there's some flooding, there's also wind gusts. Topping the chart, Perry so far that I've seen. That's right there in Washington County, right around the border. I'm seeing a flash flood warning that's popping up right now on the screen in front of me. I'm reading this right to you. Washington to Hancock until 9:27. So I just scrolled on the top right over my forehead, basically. And we haven't seen that yet. That's the first time that we've seen a flash flood warning out of this storm. It's gotten a lot of rain down east. So you're seeing that scroll on the screen. That means that it is time to take action, get to higher ground, and obviously avoid flooded roads. Turn around, don't drown. So you're going to see that from the Weather Service for a few minutes. It'll go away. Back to the wind, 60s, tropical storm force, 40s, 50s as you head down south. Also, seacoast getting in on tropical storm force in Bangor, in the city of Bangor, around 45. The storm now, if you're looking for a center, is on the western coast there of Nova Scotia. The wind is sustained in the 20s for the most part. Portland just got out of the 20s. Now, Portland's right there around that tropical storm force, 39, 44 in Greenville. The storm's not over. Still going to have some downed trees and some limbs. We're still under tropical storm warnings, and there it is on cue. The new flash flood warning up for the coastal section there down east until 9 o'clock. So find out how much more rain is coming, and I'll take a look at the radar and show you what's going on there, plus your local forecast for the weekend. If you're not getting Lee and you're on the western side of the state or in Augusta, what's going to be happening for you rest of tonight and tomorrow.
Okay, Jason, thank you. Well, trees have been coming down across the state, bringing power lines down with them. Right now, there are more than 80,000 customers without power between Maine's two largest utility companies. Central Maine Power is reporting about 51,000 outages. Versant has 32,000 customers without power. And both companies are reminding Mainers that you should never touch a down power line or a tree that's in contact with one. A man from Searsport is dead after a tree branch fell on his car this morning.
Yeah, police say the 51-year-old was driving near Prospect Street around 9 o'clock this morning when a wind-blown branch landed partially on his car. He was still alive when police first arrived, but they could not get to him right away because of a downed power line. Once CMP shut the power down, first responders got to the man, but he was no longer breathing. Police are not releasing his name until they can notify his family. Communities along the coast are certainly feeling the brunt of this nor'easter.
And that includes Bar Harbor, where we find meteorologist Dana Osgood. Dana, are the winds starting to die down there yet?
I wish I could say so, Sam and Amanda. I've been out here for the past couple of minutes, and the wind and the rain is just continue to drive kind of right into my face here. That's a pretty good gust coming towards me. I'm trying to get a look at the anemometer to see how high that gust is. Looked to be between 15 and 20. Looks like the anemometer's got some water in it. But the good news is that we are expecting the rain and wind to let up a little bit. The wind especially once we head after sunset, which is coming up pretty soon. But overall, it has been a very rainy and very windy day here in Down East. The good news also is that we are past high tide, so the waves have started to recede a little bit. Still got some pretty choppy seas out there. At this point, we've gotten wow, that's a pretty good one, right in my eyes. Gotten over an inch and a half of rain, and some wind gusts that have been at tropical storm strength. So we're going to keep monitoring this, but good news is that we've only got a couple hours of the extreme weather left. Man, that is very, very windy. Sam and Amanda, I hope you guys are dry in there and it's not windy in the studio today.
Luckily, it is not windy in here, Amanda.
Sorry.
All right, Dana, thank you so much. Well, Lee moved east as it came to our neck of the woods, sparing much of Maine from the worst of the storm.
Things were different far east, though. They have been dealing with some serious wind and rain there. News Center Maine's Donovan Lynch joins us live from Rogue Bluffs State Park with the latest there. Hi, Donovan.
Hi, Sam and Amanda, and I'm here in Rogue Bluffs, which is really in the heart of Washington County, which has bore the brunt of today's storm, and we've been all over down East Maine, and the story has been largely the same. Driving rain and relentless winds with heavy gusts. I mean, there have been times that I had trouble just standing up, and the result of that has been flooding on some roads. There have been some washouts that we've seen even just getting over here. Really large, gargantuan waves, especially in West Quoddy Lighthouse, and of course the downed trees, and that is really the biggest impact when it comes to the people of Washington County. You said we have 32,000 outages with Versant Power, and you know, we experienced that firsthand. We were at a hardware store in Lubec, and the lights went out, and that's an experience that unfortunately a lot of people and a lot of businesses across down East Maine are dealing with this evening. So the question now as the storm moves out is how soon before the lights come back on? Sam and Amanda?
All right, Donovan Lynch live at Rogue Bluffs State Park there. Thank you, Donovan. And in southern Maine, there really hasn't been much rain, but plenty of wind causing some power outages.
Yeah, that's for sure. And our Chris Costa is live in Scarborough for us, where crews are restoring power right now. Hey, Chris.
Well, Sam and Amanda, they actually just wrapped up. We just saw all those power crews from Ontario helping out Central Maine Power. They just restored the power here on Fog Road. We're about 2 miles from Higgins Beach. What was the culprit here? This massive tree. Take a look at this as we kind of walk along the length. Before the tree crews that were here as well cut it all up, they told us that it was about 60 feet minimum in height. And take a look at the trunk, absolutely splintered. And this is all because of that recipe that our meteorologists have been warning us about, right? A saturated ground, strong wind, and all the leaves on the branches catching that wind and toppling those trees right onto power lines. We also checked in with the Cumberland County and York County emergency management agencies today. They say that this wind and the power outages, that has been the story here in southern Maine, and they all agree that really this area has been spared the worst of the storm.
It hasn't been bad. I came in early this morning expecting a bad, storm. We have some winds, really didn't get any rain to speak of. Didn't have a whole lot of trees down. We didn't have any boating issues at all, which makes me very happy.
So Fog Road closed right now. I'm expecting it's going to open here just about any minute. The other issue that Scarborough police had told us about was the strong surf. We heard that from the EMA staff as well. They actually had to close parts of the roads that went into Higgins Beach because of that strong surf. Some waves estimated at 10 to 15 feet with some strong splash over. The reason they had to close the roads, not just because of the danger, but also because of so many people who wanted to go see this post-tropical cyclone Lee put on a show. We're live in Scarborough tonight. Sam and Amanda, back to you.
All right, Chris, thank you so much.